Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're gonna see how we can deploy our MCP server into Lambda compute. Now, if you are not familiar with MCP, please check out my previous videos. So I'm not gonna cover MCP part. I'm hoping everyone is here already familiar with MCP servers and they have their MCP server running in their local environment. Now for if you can see my screen, this is a readme small I created just to explain how we're gonna achieve that. If you are not familiar with Lambda is a compute provided by AWS, and it is basically event-based compute. So you receive events, which is quite different how MCP protocols are designed. So to make it compatible, what is some slight change which we need to do in this, we're gonna introduce this adapters. Now, Lambda adapters is something which is basically designed to communicate. If you want to deploy a web app or something in Lambda, that's where web adapters come, and they take events, convert into HTTP request, and then respond back to the requesters. Now, event can be produced from anywhere, API gateway, load balancers, or directly function URL. In this case, this is the whole part which we're gonna see. Our focus would be on the deployment in this video. So we're gonna cover mainly deploying or into a Lambda environment. Now, before I go into deployment, I'm gonna show you the code which I'm deploying. So this is I'm using fast MCP for this, and fast MCP server, we are initializing it. We have very small tools which we have designed is like hello world and get server details. Now again, the focus is to see how we can deploy this and get these tool information when they are deployed in Lambda. Now for adapter, by default it is expecting your web app to run on 8080, and that's what we are giving here. And when you run MCP, if you're not familiar, but we have multiple options how we can which mode of transport we can use. So in this we are using HTTP transport. Now this is the whole setup for code. So I think let's go into our AWS environment and see the deployment. So I'm gonna select. Now this is my console. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna select on Lambda, and once we are on Lambda, just create function. When you create a Lambda function, you have multiple options how you can create your function. Now you can create from the scratch, but in this case we're going to be using containerized image, how we discussed. Now when you select this option, you can give a name. In this I can give a demo 1 2, okay, and let's say MCP server demo 1, probably I guess have already demo something. And for browse image, now when you select a browse image, it point you to a repository in the ECR. I already have an image deployed there, but just to show you how you can do it, let me take you to ECR quickly. Now when you go to your ECR, you have an option to create a repository. If you don't have, once you create a repository, if you click on this, if you don't have any image, you can click on this view push commands, and it give you all the commands which is required for you to build and push your image. So if you see, first thing, it's gonna do a login here, then it's gonna build basically a Docker image wherever you are building. And it is just you see MCP server is just because of my repository name. That's why it is giving that name. Then it tag with the latest, so you can pull with your Lambda, and then it is pushed to your ECR repository. Now once you run these commands, you should have your image pushed into your ECR. So I'm gonna take you back to function. Now once I've selected the latest image, choose the architecture which you are using. In my Docker image I have this one, so I'm just gonna select this. Now this is something really important, which are the next steps. which are required. Now click on additional configuration. Now if in this demo I'm going to be using function URL, what it does is basically generate a URL which you can directly hit and get like call your Lambda function instead of going from API gateway. But if you want to use API gateway, feel free. It will not change anything basically. This is important thing. Now there are multiple options when you get the response from function. So one is like buffered mode, like it gonna just generate hold the response and send it to you. But in MCP, like we are using HTTP stream, so we're gonna select stream response. Response will be divided into chunks and send it over time. We are not worried about VPC and anything, so that is one important change you need to do here. Now once you close this and create this function, let's see, now your function is created and this is a URL which I was talking to you about. While this is building, let's go and see some other configuration required. So one thing, click on configuration, as MCP gonna take definitely more time than 3 seconds, so just increase it. In this demo I don't need it, but you can increase up to 15 minutes with Lambda. Now once you select this configuration, the next thing is you're gonna go to environment variable. Now there are a couple of environment variables which are required when you are working with adapters, so that's what we're gonna do. Let me bring, I think so I have it. Let's see. So one is will be your invoke stream. So basically this is what we are telling, that we're going to be using response stream. And the other one is in our normally when you call for the health check, what it does is basically call the root path. In our case, because MCP, if you have worked with, so the root path is not the basically the home address, but it's slash with MCP. That's what we are telling here. And apart from that, I think so that's it. So once you've done these changes, your server is up, and basically it should be running on a call, and then you should get able to hit this URL and get the response. So let's validate. To validate, now we have deployed it. Now to validate, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my client. Now it's a very simple client. It's just basically using streamable HTTP, and I have just copied the URL, so I'm just going to replace it here. And once I did that, and I'm going to save this, and you see here I'm calling hello world. Basically what I'm passing hello world, ideally it should call my server, and in server it should return me hello world from MCP server. So let's go back to client and let's run. Let's wait for it, and it gives some error. So let's see what error is coming here. MCP client initialization failed. Strands. Oh, it is giving 403. So let's see our configuration. Did we miss something? So let's see. And function URL, I'm just gonna go here. Oh, so you see I didn't allow it to be public. Now this is not recommended basically, but in this case in demo I'm gonna show public because I was trying to hit it publicly, but it didn't work there. So once this is set, now it should be available publicly. Let's see, try to hit it again. So perfect. Now we can see we got the response from there. What we can do, we can also check give me server details. Now what we are doing here, we are calling another tool which is server info, and it is just providing you server detail here. So let's see if we are able to do that. So it connected successfully, it called server, and you can see that it provided me all the server details, the IP address and everything. So yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions, just comment down below and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching this. Have a good day.